Good afternoon. I'm Kailey Engstrand.
I'm here with Dan Cornella, who on October 3rd, 2014, fell into a dry and rocky riverbed off a boulder in Kelly Canyon, Arizona.
Hi, Dan.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
You know, happy my legs work now.
Yeah? Well, I bet. So I have to know, how did you fall?
So this is a funny story. I got sent down to Arizona to climb, kind of do like a photo shoot with one of my clothing sponsors, Hippie Tree. And so we met up with some of the guys, they're called the Hippie Tree Tribe, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna go down to Kelly Canyon and we're just gonna do this one easy warm up. So we're like, oh, cool. So we didn't do the typical safety precautions you would wanna do, and I was the third one that went up. And so the boulder is 25 feet tall. So with a boulder, you don't use ropes anyways, because within that distance, if you fall, the rope's really not gonna catch you anyways. So as I was topping out the boulder, it was a little slopey, about like 25 degrees overhangy. My left hand was on a pretty good hold, and my right hand was reaching. And as this was not on anything, my left hand broke, like the hold just broke.
Oh my gosh.
And so I fell back. And so the first thing that went through my head is I remembered there was a log. So I was like, don't land on my back or my head, because you're dead, basically. So I pushed, and I tried to land straight. So I landed completely 25 feet on my feet, came forward, and then rocked back onto my back. So it was pretty frightening for sure. Like, it went fast in the moment, but really slow in my head. I sat up as soon as I hit the ground. I was like, oh man, my back works at least, so that's good. Yeah. But then I looked down, I couldn't bend my left leg. So I was like, that's messed up. I couldn't move my right leg either, and my right foot was to the left 90 degrees. So that's never good to see. And then I went to move this arm, and I could see my elbow on this side.
Oh my gosh, that had to be so terrifying.
Yeah, and what made it worse is we were a mile in the backwoods of Arizona, so my friends carried me out.
Well, what was your initial reaction as soon as you realized that you fell?
I mean, once I got to the hospital after the fall, so the fall I was like, man, I'm messed up, but it just looked like it was just broken bones. And so I've broken bones before, so I was like, all right, I should bounce back from this rather quick. A year before that, I had a friend who fell and broke his back and was back climbing perfectly fine within 3 months. I was like, oh, a knee, a foot, and an elbow, like, yeah. I'll be quick, it's nothing big. And overall, though, I ended up spending a week in the hospital at Arizona, and then with all my surgeries back home, another 4 days in the hospital. And I didn't walk again for 3 months.
That had to be so hard. I bet you were so sick of sitting and
yeah, it was
not being able to walk.
It was horrible for sure. Like, what really hit me hard too was moving back home. Like, I like to be out on my own, and it's not fun having to go back to your parents with working legs. So it's even worse when you got to go back, and then now you have to live on your parents' living room because it's a tri-level house. I couldn't go up the stairs because my arm didn't work, so I couldn't crawl either. So I just was stuck to the living room. So I went to the bathroom there. Like, they brought me food. Like,
oh, that's nice of them.
It was nice, but it was horrible for sure.
So I was just gonna ask you how your fall affected your personal life.
Personal life, nothing drastic. The whole time I was injured, I was like, I'm gonna go back to climbing. Like, this isn't gonna stop me. There was definitely some dark times. I think anybody that isn't gonna walk for a couple months, and then once they start walking, it's hard. I still have a limp. I still feel pain. It's 3 years later. Like, it's affected me in that regard, but technically I'm disabled, but I try not to actually let that label stick to me. So, I still rock climb. I still do as much as I can physically active. I go to the gym every morning. My job is still with rock climbing. I have another job as well, like setting up concerts in the Pepsi Center and the ceiling. So, I still am very active, and I don't let the injuries define me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'm really glad I got to hear your story.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I hope nobody else gets hurt ever again.
Absolutely.